friends. My name is Constance and this is Cruelty Free Musings. Welcome back to my channel and to a Project Pan update. Hooray! Alright, so this Project Pan is a collaborative Project Pan. This is the Partners in Cream Project Pan. It was started by Steph and Dalin of Outward Processing. Steph Lyons, Dalin of Outward Processing. Love them both. It's a giant collaboration. They have a collaborative playlist so that you can watch all of them, so that you can watch everyone who has posted videos and, binge the entire collaboration. I found several new panners that way for binge watching the introductions. It's great. The point of this Project Pan is that it is a Project Pan which focuses on cream products. So creams are easy to hit pan on, so our Project Pans tend to focus on powder products because they're a lot harder to hit pan on. But the dichotomy with that is cream products go bad. So here we go. We have one project which is entirely about cream products. All of the things so that you can focus on all of the things that will probably go bad faster than your powders, but without feeling guilty about neglecting your other pan items. Hopefully. Okay. So, and then the amounts. This is a rolling 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 items. 3 to 5 item rolling project pan. It's going to go all year. It's maybe going to go into next year as well. And is that everything? I have chosen 5 products. So let's just get into it real quickly. Okay, we will start at the top. I have a tally sheet, so I will be telling you how many times I have used each of these as I update you on them. First up, we have this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Birthday Wish. And my goal with the Super Shock Shadows is always to get that little raised area in the center of the pan completely visible and the center worn down as evenly as is reasonable. And you can see that this one is ready to be rolled out. I used this 5 times between the last update and this update. You might remember that the last time that last time I was surprised by how much pan there was in here. There was almost the entire raised area visible, but I decided to keep it in for 1 more month. Not really surprised that I hit pan on it so quickly. Okay, so that was Birthday Wish. That one has been in since the beginning of the project. Next up, so this one is rolling out, and I will show you all the things that I am rolling in at the end of the video. Alright, so next up we have the other thing which has been in since the beginning. This is my J-Cat Pris-metal Mousse in Sorcerer, and you can see that I have a little bitty pan. So that is very exciting. I have started using this as a lid shade. I don't use it very much, but I find that it doesn't work as a base. It doesn't work well as a deepening crease color because it will fade throughout the day. And it doesn't work well as a shadow for my crease because it loses the purpleness and it goes very gray. So the thing that this is actually best for is an inner 2/3 of the lid color. So I used it in a couple of purple looks. No doubt that's why I did hit pan, just because I was using a little bit more of it. And I used this 4 times since the last update. I have been doing a shop my stash and I pulled in kind of a lot of eyeshadow the last time. So my numbers on my pan items have gone down a little bit. But I did hit pan on this, which has been in since the beginning. I figured out a way to use it that I enjoy, and I'm excited to be rolling that out. Next up, we have Stila Glitter and Glow. This one I rolled in last month. And this is in the shade Fairy Tale. And you will probably not see a huge amount of, like, it's not going to look like I've used a whole lot. And that's because I used this a couple of times and then I decided that it needed to be rehydrated. I know, I said the last time that when it was time to remove the stopper and reconstitute it, that I would consider it done. I didn't, but here it is. So I used this 5 times. I did take out the stopper so that I could squidge down everything that was underneath the stopper and mix it all up with some eye drops. These are just some eye drops that are technically expired, so I don't want to put them in my eyes anymore, but they're still fine for putting into things to rehydrate them. So I haven't used this since I reconstituted it. I did put the stopper back in after I stirred it up. So we'll see if it lasts a little bit longer. The issue that I had with Sea Siren is that the sparkle went very patchy and it was difficult to apply evenly. So we'll see if I have that issue. I haven't applied it since stirring it up and reconstituting it. But obviously since I stirred it, you can't really see the demarcation line, but I can see that I am down to about 1/3 there. So, and then the rest of the sparkle is pretty sheer on the inside of the bottle. So I have actually used a decent amount of this, and I am pretty proud of myself. As far as using this is a little bit too dark for me to use on like the inner 2/3 of my lid, but I do enjoy it as like a sparkly interest outer corner sort of shade. And I do, it is leaving all of the glitters on my fingers. So that's great. They get a lot messier after you reconstitute them. So I do find that with the Stila Glitter and Glows, it's better to put down a transition first and then apply them over that so that you don't have to blend them. They tend to go a little bit gray and patchy and weird if you try to blend them too much. but I really do enjoy them. They are very pretty. Alright, the next thing is another thing that I rolled in last month because I had 3 roll-ins last month. It was very exciting. And this is my ABH Dipbrow in Taupe. Now, I have not used this very much. Obviously, my goal is not to hit pan. My goal is to use this 30 times, and the purpose of this is, as I've mentioned in several of my videos, a lot of the purpose of project pans for me is to just work something into my routine a little bit more consistently and see if I enjoy using it more than like I spontaneously reach, more than me spontaneously reaching for it would seem to indicate. So that is the goal with this Dipbrow. I don't really do a lot with my brows, but I have been filling them more since putting this in. I have used this 7 times. Now that's not a lot, but it is more than the handful that I used it in the year that I had it, or so, like 9 months to a year that I've had this and not been using it. So I figure the more use I get out of this, the better. And I might put this into a project pan or just naturally use it up depending on how much the brow pomade makes itself a part of my life. This is in the shade Taupe. My hair is kind of light right now, so I figured that I would go for the lightest cool tone color, which is Taupe. Yes, so that is my shade. I am definitely brown haired, but I do have some blonde highlights. Alright, and then the last item which I am updating you on is this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. Oh, it matches my nails. This is in the shade Flower Shop. I had to check. Yes, in fact, it is named Flower Shop. Alright, so this is a blackened teal. I have used this 3 times. It is not as sheer as I remember it being. It is still pretty sheer. Applied with the finger, which is how I generally like to apply Super Shocks. So you can see it's sort of a wash applied with my finger, but let's see. So this is the brush that I use. This is the New Style Real Techniques Domed Shadow Brush. So it has a flat edge, and this is how I pick up my Super Shock shadows with it. And then let's make sure that and then this is how it applies. So you can see it goes a little bit denser and a little bit darker when applied with a brush. And I am getting more of that effect. In person as well, it looks a little bit more dense and solid. So I like this brush specifically for using with Super Shock shadows. It's good. So Birthday Wish, this is the limited edition packaging. They liked the shades so much that they made it permanent, but I did buy it when ColourPop turned 4. Or I didn't buy it, but I got it as a free gift. So this brush works really well with very opaque shadows like this Ultra Glitter, and it also works well with this quite sheer satin color. So I really like this specific domed shadow brush for using with my Super Shock shadows, and I am enjoying reaching for this color. It is a little bit, it's a little bit more specific of a color than the other colors that I have panned so far. It's quite shiny. And I have enjoyed layering it with shimmers, and also using it as sort of an accent under, it's like an under eye wing. I have very deep set eyes. They're not hooded yet. That's coming, I'm sure, as I age, but so the thing for very deep set eyes is you can't do a traditional wing because you can't see it when your eyes are open. If I do a traditional wing, it takes up my entire lid space. So what I do is I'll start my liner on the bottom lid, on the lower lid of my eye, and then drag it up in the shape of a cat eye wing. And that gives you the same shape and effect without being, without taking over the entire lid space when your eyes are open, which they are for most of the day when you're wearing makeup. So, that's beneficial to know. Life hacks for people with deep set and hooded eyes. Start your wing underneath on the lower lash line. You can get the graphic liner look and still preserve your lid space. And then you would just tightline in your you just tightline your upper lashes and connect it to your wing. So I have used this in a couple of ways. I've only used this 3 times. You can kind of tell I have not made a ton of progress with it, but I am enjoying it. And it will stay in for the minute since there's no provision in this project pan that you can roll out things when you get tired of them. And also, I don't really get tired of things after only a month of working on them. Benefits of not being easily bored. Alright, so I rolled out this Pris-metal mousse, and to replace it, I'm going to roll in this JCat Pris-metal mousse. This is in the shade Champagne Whiz. It is quite a warm pink shade. I thought it would be more champagne when I bought it than it turned out to really be. But you can see in that swatch on my finger, it is definitely quite pink. So it'll be fun to play with as an inner 2/3 shade. This one is a lot wetter than my other Pris-metal mousse, so maybe that is one of the reasons that I had such problems with it being a base. Maybe they are actually meant to be more wet than this one, which ended up being quite dry. Not sure if that's a formula thing. I know that Champagne Whiz is one that's pretty highly rated from people who like these. So I have not used this much because I'm not much of a pink person, but I do think that the reflect on it is very pretty, and I might try it as a base, but if I need to, I will definitely fall back on using it as a as an inner 2/3 lid, inner 2/3 of the lid, sparkly eyeshadow, and just deal with my eyeshadow being very pink for a while. And for to tap over it, or for breaks, I have this other super sparkly shadow, which is named Frog. This is to replace Birthday Wish. So this is an ultra glitter. You know, I love ultra glitters. I love all the shiny shadows. This is super ultra sparkly, and I will just swatch it for you. It almost looks like a topper the way that I swatched it there. So it probably will in fact pair very nicely with Champagne Whiz. I have not used this very much because, as you can see, it's kind of my skin tone, but I think it will work pretty nicely as a brightening shade to top over looks, since it is so sparkly. You can see it super sparkly. And as always, my goal with these super shock shadows is to not only hit pan but to wear it down evenly and to expose the entire button in the middle of the pan. So we'll see how long it takes me. It'll be pretty exciting to be able to tally basically from the start how long it takes to hit pan on a ColourPop shadow for me. Alright, so that is my entire update. I hope you enjoyed or learned something, or both. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you feel like. And goodbye for now.